In a world where there are too many comic books to keep up with, one podcast has the stones to bring you all of your comic book needs. Week by week. Book by book. One epic show. You are now tuned in to Nerd Church Radio.
Hello and welcome to Nerd Church Radio, DC Mass. I'm your host, Ben Dupay.
Bradley Butin.
What's up, Planet Earth? This is Josh Aldini.
And Travis Roseberry.
We are your caffeinated comic book overlords. How are you guys doing today?
Oh, pretty good.
Fantastic.
Pretty good.
Yeah, good short week for comics, I feel like. Yeah. Not a lot. We have 2 short weeks for comics, actually. Good time to let people know NCR is taking a short reprieve. We're going to be going on vacation next week. Well, not like vacation. We're taking the week off of podcasting. So, Indie Tuesdays, Nerd Church Radio, Glitch Therapy,
I'll be on vacation then.
Yeah, will you be on vacation?
I got 10 days off, man.
Nice.
Oh, yeah, vacation
nice.
from work, yes.
Well, actually, vacation from not work before I start the new work.
Right, yeah. Brad got a new job. He's no longer at Wells Fargo.
Yeah.
Once I left, there was just no reason to stay. You know?
It was pretty hard. I cried on my breaks.
Yeah.
Brad, don't burn the place down when you leave.
Yeah. Don't do what
Like
I did.
Ben.
Yeah. So yeah, it was a good week for comics this week. So we are going to take a week off. We might do like an annuals episode. I don't know. Noah had mentioned possibly wanting to cover some of the annuals, so we might talk about maybe doing that on if we can find a spot like during the week. But I work nights and everyone else works days, so it's going to be we'll see how that plays out. But
Night and day.
Yep.
No?
So we do.
I like it.
So
Reggie?
we do have some books to cover for you today, though. I'm going to start things off here with Batgirl number 9. Because I feel like I haven't given her dues lately. She's one of my favorite comic book characters, and I just haven't been paying attention to her.
Leia loved it. She keeps stealing my phone and thumbing through it, and I'm like, you want me to read that to you?
I
and
loved
then
it
she starts
too.
acting it out, and it's pretty cute.
Yeah, I really liked it a lot.
I'd record it, but she was using my phone. So.
Yeah.
So
it's hard to do.
Yeah.
So in Batgirl number 9, some jerk is robbing people in Burnside, stealing their cell phones and being all jerky and stuff. But not if Barbara Batgirl Gordon has anything to say about it. The robber is using something called a Faraday bag, which blocks people from being able to track cell phones and other techie stuff. So the robber makes away, but Babs tracks the robber with some special Batgirlish techie goggles, because Batgirl. Also, anytime there's a techie thing, it's like, I bought a Wii because Batgirl. Or I bought a Nintendo Switch because Batgirl is tech. I'm going to be using that excuse on my wife from now on. Anyway, she tracked down the robber. She heads off to an elementary school to teach some underprivileged kids about data mining and how the man is out to get them. Then she heads home where her friend is waiting for her with some relationship problems to talk about. Then Penguin's son invites her to an Eyes Wide Shut type party where everyone is wearing masks. Hopefully it doesn't go in the same direction that Eyes Wide Shut did, but Penguin tells Babs that he bought a toothbrush to keep at his place. Before he can get more clingy, he decides to take some publicity shots by himself. So Babs decides this is the perfect moment to go all Superman and change into her bat speed in her wow. Go all Superman and change into her bat suit in a speeding second. What's with the alliteration in my recap today? I don't know.
So you really went overboard on
I
this.
did, man. Yeah. So she goes to poke around Ethan's company and gets caught by Cobblepot, who incidentally invites her to play a game of ping pong.
Excellent.
Yep. So I've been bad about Batgirl lately. I haven't been reading the issues, and she's like my favorite character. But I really jumped into this issue without any problems. It was like Babs is dating Cobblepot's son. That's a thing. The writer sort of tells the story by giving us like this whole like a day in the life of Batgirl thing, and that's how he's always written Batgirl. Is like you see her go, teach some underprivileged kids at school, then you see her go to her apartment and talk to her friend who's having relationship problems, and you just like every issue is just kind of like watching a day in the life of Batgirl, which is cool. Like I like that writing style.
This Batgirl series reminds me of a CW TV show.
It does, yeah, very much like a day in the life of Barry Allen on The Flash. Just where you follow one character around all day.
I mean, I would love it. I think a Batgirl would be awesome on that.
Dude, yeah. Oh man, yep. I
mean, never happened probably, but hey.
Yeah. I don't know. I heard like a rumor that Batwoman was coming to the season, but I haven't seen anything yet. I also haven't been watching. So, every issue I've read since Rebirth. I said that already. It's kind of had that day in the life of vibe. The art was actually a huge plus on this one for me. I say actually because when they changed things up with this new art team a few months back or weeks back, I was really excited, and then I was kind of let down because the initial art wasn't very good. This was really good. I liked it a lot. I dug it. Did anyone else read this book?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, I know Brad did.
Yeah, I did.
You did? What did you think, Josh?
I liked it. I thought it was good. Like you said, I mean, it was an easy one just to kind of jump into and read. I mean, it was just a fun Batgirl story.
Yeah, it was fun. That's all it was. It was just a lot of fun. So I
like that they're finally doing something with Penguin too.
Yeah, I'm interested to see because like she kind of is suspicious that Penguin is working with his son, and trying to infiltrate Batgirl, but it looks like that's not the case. It looks like his father is actually working on the opposite end is Ethan. So yeah, I'll be interested to see what direction they take it in. I will give them this: they got me back into Batgirl and Rebirth, so I'll be reading this one from now on. I am going to rate this one. Before I do, I am going to play our rating system for you, so you know what I'm talking about.
If a comic book is bad, we rate it as blasphemy. If the book is good, we give our blessing. If the book is not bad, not good, but just kind of meh, we rate it as stuck in purgatory. If the book is great, we rate it as holy. And if a comic book exceeds all standards of awesomeness, we rate that book as salvation.
All right, and that being said, I am going to give this one a blessing. I think it was a good book. For me, it was great because I get really excited about Batgirl. It's just like Travis with Superman, or you with Green Lanterns, or Josh with everyone because he's just excited about everything. So
everything excites me.
Yeah, very excitable person.
See about Thundercats.
Man,
it must run in the family. Oh, there was a mom joke in there somewhere. Sorry.
Nope, not playing into it.
Not playing into it. No. Yeah. Anyway. Okay, cool. So that being said, I'm going to pass things off to... let's talk Action Comics. I want to hear about that one.
All right. Action Comics number 976 by Dan Jurgens, Doug Mankey, Jaime Mendoza, and Will Quintana. So Mixie is way mad at Supes for cheating to win, but did he? Superman and Lois found John, but they don't believe they are his parents. The red orbs have seemed to restore Superman and Lois to who they were before Rebirth. Supes is asking Mixie why he took the boy, and Mixie answers in the most confusing, riddled way possible. They battle it out, and John finds some blue orbs, which these possess the souls of current Lois and Superman.
That was weird to me.
It was super weird. Yeah. I had to go back and read the issue before this just to kind of get caught up, and I think it was during when I was on vacation.
You have to. Yeah, I could not jump into this issue.
I read like the first 2 pages, and I'm like, I got to go back and read because I did not understand what was going on.
Yeah.
So they show John the way to save his parents, the blue orbs, these ghostly beings that are current Lois and Supes, and with a mighty Kamehameha. DBZ reference, check. Blast from his hands, John does just that. Mixie is destroyed, and Supes and Lois then begin to merge with the blue power beings to basically join the past history with the events of the current timeline.
Cool.
So after this all went down, I mean, Lois and Superman just had a sweet little make-out sesh, and just you could see like the red and the blue stuff just flying into the air. I mean, it's like it was pretty spectacular, and basically John's super happy after all this. So, but Mixie kept referencing another who created this reality. That other is Dr. Oz. As Supes and Lois merge with the beings, he questions how Supes could have did what he did. Explains how Superman, Lois, and John have somehow repaired what was broken. A new reality has been created. 2 realities have now merged into one.
I'm sorry to keep cutting you off, but
you're good.
I love this, like, double splash page with all the villains and stuff. Like, that's, and the narrative from Mr. Oz going on. Like, that was just such a well-drawn page to me.
Well, it was that, and then it ties up all the little, like, loose ends.
Yeah.
Like, there's a little picture of Perry White holding baby John, and, you know, they're all back at the
I didn't
planet.
notice that, yeah.
I mean, you got to look at
Lois
all
and
the
Clark
little pieces.
getting married.
Yeah, exactly. It's fantastic.
Yeah, it was definitely nice double page splash, that's for sure. The 2 realities have merged, and for them and those connected to them, they will feel the effects. So I'm assuming that's referencing basically everybody in the verse now who, not just, like, Wally was the only one who's aware of kind of what was going on, right? But now everyone's just going to have...
This is the new.
Yeah, basically everything's going to combine, and they're just going to know, essentially.
Exactly.
Oh, so I took it just as Superman and Lois.
No.
Yeah.
Nope.
No, like
Nope.
it specifically
this is now
states...
the reality.
Yeah,
And this is...
Dr. Oz
okay.
explains it like everybody that's connected to them or knows them is going to be aware of this new reality that's been created.
Well, that makes...
okay.
So that doesn't make sense to me, though, because, like, okay... Okay,
I'm with you, Ben.
so
I'm
Wonder.
with you.
All right, so for example, Wonder Woman, like she knows them, so now she's going to be aware of this new reality. So she knows that.
Instant rewrite.
So she knows that her and Clark dated for a while, but not
Never
really
happened.
because it never happened.
Never
But
happened.
No, it did happen because
Nope.
then.
This now solidifies it back. It takes that off the game board.
So it pretty much
So-
reset anything that happened in the New 52.
For Superman.
Yeah. Well, not for Superman, but for everything that involved him. You know what I mean?
So like Justice League War or you know, like
Superman
So
and-
Dark Side and everything.
Did Superman and Lois get together at the end of New 52?
Superman died at the end of
Yeah.
the New 52.
And he was with Wonder Woman like the whole time?
Pretty
Yeah.
much,
Yeah, I thought so, yeah.
Well, he broke up with her kind of towards the end, but he wasn't with Lois at all. There was no real relationship there.
Well,
But-
I took it as them both merging just because you obviously saw like the New 52 Superman.
That's
and then
what I'm
you saw
saying.
the new one.
Like, I know they both merged, but as far as, like, I think it's just, like, you can't really think about singular events because it'll bother you too much.
Yeah.
That makes-
But, like,
that
the
makes
two
sense.
characters have combined into one. We still have the old Superman back and just don't think about the events
Right.
any further. Otherwise,
Exactly.
you're just going to argue about it all day.
So
So it kind of peppers in, so you could kind of maybe in the future, as a writer or something, could maybe link back to the fact that there was a relationship with Wonder Woman and Superman.
Okay.
But they don't address that here. I mean, when you look at the double splash page, they're harkening back to the normal Superman where he fights and dies with Doomsday. That's the one with the cape. So
Okay.
I don't think the fight with the Doomsday in this rebirth actually happened, but I think they're kind of glossing over it because in the center where that shield is shown, they've got what's his name? I'm going to call him Engine. That's the wrong word. But from pre-52, there's this warrior that kind of takes over the world and almost destroys it. So that's all pre-52, and a lot of those enemies are from that. So I took it as it's an instant rewrite. We're supposed to forget that New 52 kind of happened with that Clark, and then just move forward.
Okay.
You know, that kind of thing.
Good
okay, I
enough
mean,
for me.
and New 52 was started because of Flashpoint,
Right.
and Flashpoint comes into play in a different book this week. Too.
Yeah. And I'm sure, like, I'll get a message from, I know a couple people actually that are going to message me after hearing this and give their chime in on it. So,
Sweet.
But yeah, Josh, go ahead. Keep on going. Sorry about that.
Oh, no, you're good. But basically, he states that everyone connected to them is going to be aware. But then Dr. Oz is also referencing someone else. And then on the final panels, we see basically Earth, and then it zooms out. We see the moon, and then we see Mars, I believe, the red planet. And and he states, will Superman have the final say or him? Mm-hmm. So next we got the new world, and I'm assuming Manhattan's coming.
Bump.
See, and I actually took this to mean like Mr. Oz isn't working with Dr. Manhattan, and I think that and Brad and I talked about that this week, that I think that Mr. Oz is actually maybe working with a DC villain from the pre-New 52, and Dr. Manhattan is still on the moon. He just doesn't care about humanity still, but he's going to have to intervene somehow. I don't think he's as big of a part in this because he just doesn't care about humans.
Yeah, that's true.
So I don't think he's as big of a part as we had thought he was previously.
That could be.
So,
and the way they've twisted things, I mean, it could be something completely different.
This whole time we've assumed that Mr. Oz and Manhattan are working together, but I don't think they are.
Why do they keep referencing Mars then?
Because
Martian Manhunter.
I wondered the same thing.
I guess
but,
that could be.
I mean, and maybe it's just an indirect. Maybe it's not even Mars.
I think they're talking about Dr. Manhattan at the end of this episode,
Right.
but he's like, will Superman have the final say, or will it be Dr. Manhattan? I mean, this to me implies like, well, I don't know because I'm not working with Dr. Manhattan. But he's still a key player in it. But I don't think him and Mr. Oz are working together.
So you think Oz is talking about a different villain though when he was saying, let me get to the panels here, because he was saying that Superman wouldn't be able to basically fix what was broken, and then Superman did it. So I mean that made it sound like to me that but I mean, if he's working with somebody else, that could be who he's talking about. But that's kind of how I read it.
Yeah, I don't know. And we'll find out more as time goes on. It's all shots in the dark. What did you rate this one?
Like I said, I didn't rate it very good at first, just because the whole Mixie thing just drove me nuts. But after after I reread the ending part a second time, and I got to thinking about just how confusing Rebirth is in general. It kind of made sense to throw this character in there because he works in like an abstract reality, kind of so to speak, and he always has messed with Superman in that way.
That's the only real. Sorry, I can't speak. The only real
contagious.
way. Dang it, Ben! You gave it to me.
Sorry.
There's
a mom
it's,
joke there.
Yeah.
I'm done.
So
Spit it out. What do you got?
I think that was their
ointment or a
scapegoat,
cream
basically.
for that, by the way.
I think it was their only real way to escape that rewrite or that issue, because to me it was super confusing to begin with, and it's like, how are you going to fix this, especially when you had a new Clark and then you have Superman.
Right.
It was just I was mad when Mixie first showed up, and then I was like, oh, that makes actually a lot of sense.
Right.
So okay, I'll deal with that.
Right.
I'll accept it. It's a nice way to kind of erase the page and start over again, or meld.
I kind of took it as that's why he was kind of imprisoned by Dr. Oz also, is because he has that ability to kind of pull people into this weird reality to where, just sparks questions and makes people like question and think through things. So
yeah,
I don't know. But after I reread it, I gave it a holy, just because right at the end, I just felt like the overall impact that this is having on Rebirth in general, kind of playing into the whole big picture. So after that, I gave it a holy. I had it as blessing in just regards to a Superman story, just because again I hate that villain. But overall, in the big picture, I had to change it to a holy, because I mean it was a good read and it ties into Rebirth really well.
Cool. I go blessing. I think like I don't know. I'm between I'm with you. I'm between I can't really decide. Travis, what do you think?
I'm going with Josh. I liked it wholly all the way. I liked the 4-part. I was, like I've said, I was kind of mad when he first showed up, but they got me. They got me hooked, and it actually makes a lot of sense to have him in there to rewrite everything or to make everything cohesive. So, good job. I think they really dug deep into the archives and went, oh yeah, we haven't had this guy in here yet. He's got these abilities that can rewrite and can help us kind of tie these, loose strings. Let's do it. So I give them credit. I give the writers credit. I give the director of talent, whatever you want to call him, a decent good job. I say holy, and as the 4-part series, I give it a high holy.
Cool.
I'm still reserving that salvation.
I know you are. I know.
This one in my back pocket.
This one didn't deserve a salvation. I don't think. Anyway, so Brad, real quick, what would you rate this one?
Blessing. I'm more with Ben on this one.
Yeah,
I mean, it was really good, and I really liked it. I mean, I got a little bit confused, a little bit better now that we've kind of talked through it, but still,
to me, it's like it's hard to rate this one because we haven't learned everything there is to learn. There's still so many questions. So like as an issue, yeah, I guess maybe a wholly, but as a whole, it's almost hard to even like give it a rating because I don't know where they're going with it. Like,
Right.
yeah, Mr. Oz, but we don't know the deal with the other Watchmen characters. We don't know what's going on, so it's really hard to say. They do have me hooked though, man.
This will be one of those issues that down the road you're like, okay, I get it now.
Yep. And like that, I go back now and read Rebirth #1, and it's like, holy crap, that was awesome, man. The way they tied little things in, to current comics. So, all right, we'll keep things moving along here. Who wants to go next?
I'll go. Let's talk about The Flash.
Okay.
Sins of the Father, Part 2. This is written by Joshua Williamson and art by Jesus Marino and Carmine Di Glandamincio.
Giandomenico.
Same thing.
I
That's
like
what your mom
sit, I
says.
sit and try and figure out how to pronounce these names. Like it's like I do that sometimes.
Cool.
Yeah.
So the Flash, Kid Flash, and Captain Boomerang are about to be on the receiving end of a firing squad. But since this is the beginning of the comic, of course there's no certain death will happen. After the heroes and the Rogue get free and take care of Crocodile Dundee, the Spider-Man fan, Wally and Barry...
Well said.
Very well said.
Thank you. Wally and Barry find out that Wally's dad was the Reverse Flash, was at Belle Rev, and had died. Barry also finally reveals his identity to Wally, but Wally turns into a crybaby because Barry doesn't want to tell Iris his secret and runs off. We end the issue with the Reverse Flash from Flashpoint back and wants to teach the son of the man that killed him a lesson. Gentlemen, who killed the Reverse Flash in Flashpoint?
Thomas Wayne.
Thomas Wayne's
Oh
Batman.
man, yeah. I'm excited because like this is part of the cover. What are they called? The covers that change when you turn them.
The 3D.
Lenticular.
Lenticular. Thank you. This Reverse Flash is part of the lenticular covers that they had advertised for April. So I had said that was March, but it's actually April.
I know
Cool.
you don't. I know you, Ben, don't like the Flash, or I should say Barry,
Barry
Allen.
Allen.
I just
The
don't
TV
like
show. You're
Barry.
like, you're such a crybaby.
I had no idea
But-
Ben didn't like Barry Allen. No idea whatsoever.
Josh loves Amanda
That's
Waller.
news
Yeah,
to
there
me.
we go.
Yeah.
Low blow. No. But I love the Reverse Flash. I don't know why, but
I do too.
The Man in Yellow on the TV show, and then in the comics, Eobard Thawne. Oh my God! It's
Such
just,
a maniacal,
you don't get
twisted.
any better than that.
Yeah.
Hands down. I mean, there's a lot of good villains, but I love the fact that he just peppers reality with just chaos. And,
And being from the future, being that scientist, I mean...
Yeah.
I liked him in Flashpoint, the animated movie. The
Yeah.
way he was drawn, how he's like
dude.
taller than everybody and stuff. He just
Yeah.
he's terrifying.
Well, and like if Barry Allen is a drunk fumbling idiot walking through the timeline destroying everything, Reverse Flash is the genius walking through the timeline just picking out things
Yes.
to destroy intently. Like he knows.
Barry goes at it with a machete. He goes at it with a scalpel.
Barry he's like cut it all off the timeline.
I'm gonna go run and fix things.
yes, exactly. I'm with you. I love the Reverse Flash.
So do you guys think that this is going to have anything to do with the hierarchy? We just got to talking about Dr. Oz, or Mr. Oz, I'm sorry. And... with the reset of Flashpoint, pretty much, or not Flashpoint, but of the New 52.
Right.
So this is where I'm confused. So I'm like, okay, so it's a different reality because of Barry Allen, but then they brought Flashpoint. I don't know. I have like 10,000 words in my head that are just blowing my brain right now.
You're going to have instances where this is going to affect things, especially because we have the button coming up.
Yeah.
That's where Batman and Barry Allen team up to figure out what's going on with that button that he found.
Well, and Reverse Flash is going to Batman next
Yeah,
issue.
he's going to be part
He's
of
going
that.
after Batman.
Yeah.
So
Next issue. Oh, really?
next
Yeah.
issue of
Yeah.
Batman.
Next
Yeah.
He's on the lenticular cover.
not next
'cause it
issue.
changed.
It says it in
Yeah.
the book.
It does. Right at the end. Batman
I'll find
21.
it.
I forgot what I was going to say.
Because we're in I Am Bane right now.
Um,
Sorry.
Batman, Reverse Flash, Flashpoint.
To be
tie-in.
continued in Batman number 21.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
There
Flash
it is.
number 20. Iris West, agent of the Black.
Oh, and Batman number 20 is the next one, so it'll be the
Oh,
one
21.
after that.
Oh,
okay, yeah. Sorry about that, everyone. So, okay.
Cool.
Sorry, didn't mean to.
But yeah, I think it's going to tie in, though, just because of that reference to Flashpoint. And
Yeah.
with what they just did in Superman tying two realities together, it's like, that's why I think that, I don't know if I necessarily agree with that they're wiping out the New 52 era. Because, I mean, it seems like they're trying to just tie it all together. Like, everything.
I think there
Superman
might be some
even
cherry
says that.
picking going on.
Superman
Right.
even says that, like, I know everything. Like, everything
he
makes
knows
sense.
He knows the New 52, Superman, and normal.
Right. So I mean, I still don't fully understand it, but
Me
that's
neither.
why I think it's just everything's tying in together, and that's why I was saying I think they just merged it all into one new reality. I don't see why they would just remove that chunk, but like you said, maybe they're cherry picking, maybe they're removing like just some stuff that just doesn't even
Right.
deserve to be there, you know?
Yeah, it'll be it'll be interesting to see how they proceed forward because there's no way you can address decades of continuity. You know, as a whole, you're.
But what kind of drama would that create if we get Superman going all googly eyed at Wonder Woman now?
got a
Saucer
little
milk
love
table for one.
Lois, I mean, I love you and all, but
Here's another
Woman.
question. So in the not just in this issue, but Wally West's dad is the Reverse Flash.
Zoom, not the
Oh,
reverse
okay.
Flash.
yeah. There's two
Oh,
reverse.
yeah, right. I knew
flashes.
that. I knew that. But okay. Now it makes a little more sense because I'm like, they're talking about Reverse Flash, and I think even in the book they even say Reverse Flash,
Okay.
not Zoom.
They call them both, I think. At one point, like I
It
read
gets
something where they
confusing.
call
It's
them
really
reverse
confusing, but-
flash, they call them zoom, all
Okay.
in like the same sentence as they're like describing.
Yeah. So
Professor Zoom, I think.
yeah,
is what-
Professor
right,
Zoom.
yeah.
Yep.
what would you rate this one?
very blessed.
Very
Very blessed.
Very blessed. Yeah.
Very, very
This
blessed.
is very
Very,
blessed.
very blessing. Very.
So
Yeah, I thought it was fun to read.
I remember now what I was going to ask you. So now that Thawne is back, he can actually retain the memories from other timelines. So he can remember everything. So now you've got this, Thawne. You've got Wally, the redheaded Wally.
Right.
And then you've got Flash, which kind of knows what's going on, right?
Right. I think
Because once he pulled
once he-
Wally back
Yep.
out, he
Yeah.
kind of remembers. Yeah. So all these things from pre-Flashpoint, you're getting people who remember it. So maybe we are headed towards a cataclysmic reset again, of the DC universe.
Paradox.
Yeah.
I
DC
think-
Rebirth Paradox.
I was talking to some people this week about like how this whole rebirth thing is going to end, and
Yeah.
I initially was like, I wonder if they're going to kill Batman. Maybe I had thought about that, and that would be odd if they did. I think
It has been done, but
has it stuck though? Like
it'll never stick.
No, because you always have to have Batman. But that's what happened with Darkseid. He hit him with his Omega beams and actually it killed Batman,
That-
but it
that
sent him
only
back
lasted
in time,
one
and
hit.
it came through. It came through. It was a whole year.
oh, was it?
Yeah, because that's when Dick Grayson took up the mantle of Batman.
Oh, and that was a whole year.
That was a whole
okay,
year.
Wow. I was thinking
because it was the
Blackest Night,
return
so
of Batman, and it was a whole year.
it was a big deal when he came
Yeah.
back and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because
Okay.
he had his own line. I think it was 5 or 6 comics long.
And it seems like I hope they don't just end it by killing someone because it's like
Yeah.
they killed Superman at the end of New 52. Like everyone's died and come back before. Like let's do something better than that. So I think it'll be like we'll eventually end Rebirth and end up with a new timeline, and that's gonna lead into a new like the DCYOU. Like it'll just be another event that they.
DCYOU. What's that?
That was a thing back after New 52, the DCU. It was an event they did,
Oh,
the
yeah,
DCYOU.
yeah.
I didn't
Oh,
read
okay,
any of it,
yeah.
but
Okay.
yeah. I mean, they just do events. That's how they write comics. So, But
One last thing about this book. I couldn't stand Wally in this.
Yeah, he was kind of whiny.
The whole crybaby thing, like you didn't show your secret identity to my aunt.
Yeah, not
Yeah.
thinking at all like, oh, you did it to protect her so that my villains or your villains wouldn't go after her.
Right.
It's just I'm whiny and you're
well,
a liar.
He is a
Right.
he is a teenager
Yeah,
too.
suck it
Gotta-
up.
gotta
I
give him
do
that.
have one of those, so I guess I can a little bit relate to that.
Get a job.
Suck it up. You're super fast. Just go super fast through puberty and get
Yeah,
over it.
right? Yeah.
Change those diapers.
So that being said, we are going to move things on to Travis. Travis messaged me this week and was like, "Hey, Wonder Woman's really confusing because I haven't been keeping it up. So why don't you give me Blue Beetle instead?" And I feel like you just traded confusing for way more confusing.
Yes,
Do you
absolutely.
agree?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I read it 3 times and I'm still like,
Yeah.
this is about the best I can
Blue
do.
Beetle.
Yeah.
You can cover your other book if you want to. I just thought that was
Yeah,
funny.
no, you're dead on with that one. It's true. I am going to cover the other one though first, Batman Beyond, because it was actually a really neat read. I
Nice.
really
Yeah, it
did
was
like it.
good.
I
So
thought it was fun too.
Batman Beyond: Rise of the Demon, Part Number 1. Terry and Bruce and gang reunite in the Batcave. Remember last issue, Bruce was saved by Terry from the grips of Terminal. And now we have Bruce back. Yay. Old man Bruce.
Old grumpy man Bruce.
Old grumpy man.
Super
Yeah.
grumpy.
Yeah.
I
He
think
needs
you
a-
would be too.
He
Super
needs a-
grump.
Yeah, he needs a prune smoothie. In about 3 or 4 hours, he'll just calm right down. It's fine. No. A mysterious figure named, correct me if I'm wrong, I'm saying Curare.
I have
Is that
no
how you
idea
would
how
say
to
it?
pronounce it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're gonna use
Sure.
Curare because it sounds cool.
I would say curare, but it's-
Koenig, what?
Dupay. Don't French it up here. Seeks out Babs Gordon for help to get Batman. But the League of Shadows is on her tail, trying to stop her from getting in contact with Batman, but we don't know why. Terry and his girlfriend Dana reunite, and Terry vows that Batman isn't the biggest part of his life. She is. Wah, wah. You could hear the CW music in the background, the whole 9 yards. Meanwhile, we find out that the new Batsuit, or it's aptly named X7, is a dangerous and scary prototype that just puts fear into Bruce. And if it
But
scares
super
Bruce,
awesome.
yeah, it's awesome. But if it scares Bruce, something's going to go down big.
There's some
I'd
kind
be
of voodoo
nervous.
magic on it.
Yeah. As our new figure cons Babs into using the bat signal on top of the GCPD, they are attacked by the League of Assassins. They light the signal, however, Terry chooses to ignore it so he can stay there with Dana. So we pick up next time with part 2 of Rise of the Demon. I gave this a blessing. It's a start to a new story arc. It's an interesting. I've never seen Batman ignore the bat signal.
Yeah, I didn't like that.
I didn't like it either.
I don't like that.
But I kind of understand. They've been separated for quite a while, Dana and Terry.
Unrelated question. Well, sort of related question. Has anyone been reading the Frank Miller Dark Knight 3?
Yeah,
You've been reading it?
Yeah.
Is it good?
yeah. It's
Yeah.
a little confusing, but yeah, it's good.
Okay, well, I feel...
I say confusing because it only comes out like once every 4 months or something like that.
Yeah, well, next week we get one, so I don't know. Maybe we can record like a 10-minute thing to stick into the annual and just talk about it for a second, because I'm going to catch up on them. But this Batman reminds me of that Frank Miller gritty, dark, kind of asshole Batman, you
Yep.
know, just sort of that version of him. So that
Agreed.
was why I thought of that.
Yep. Nope. I gave it a blessing. I liked it. I liked the art again.
Art's
I liked-
awesome.
Yeah,
I love the art.
I love the way they do the little context. You're in danger, so that panel goes red. I've said that before.
Uh-huh.
But I love the futuristic part of this storyline. So
I want to know
just
more
give
about
us
this chick.
Dana or Curare.
Karari.
Yeah.
She's just
Awesome.
BA.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. No. And the League of Assassins is back, and I don't think they've shown up in the new Future Gotham yet. So it's kind of
That's
neat.
kinda
So
interesting.
is it still Raj Al Ghul who's at the seat of the demon's head?
It
or
will
is
always
somebody
be the
new?
Raj Al
I
Ghul.
guess we'll find out.
Yeah.
Yeah. To be continued. Cool. Did anyone else rate this one?
I'm with Travis. I gave it a blessing.
Sweet.
I mean, the only thing I really thought was cool about it was like we were talking about the Grumpy Bruce thing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, like when Terry's doing his whiny, I'm going to ignore the bat signal thing. He kind of explained that, so I kind of felt for him, like you were saying.
Yeah.
You know, you hadn't seen this person in a long time, and he kind of talks about how he doesn't want to end up like Bruce because like Bruce just never shuts off. Like
It's a
just
holy
like the
mission to him,
horrible, yeah, it's a holy mission. So it's like he's always thinking about just god awful things and trying to prevent them and stuff. And it's like he gave like himself no time to build relationships with like anybody.
Sure.
And he even makes a comment about like how the Batcave is different because Terry's brother was saying we haven't changed anything, and Bruce was like, well, a lot's changed. Like, it's never been a hangout for like family and friends. And then Terry said something about, well, he has to have these people in order to be Batman. And Bruce is just like, I wasn't trying to be insulting. I was just making an observation type of deal. And it's just interesting because, yeah, it's like they still captured old man Bruce as like what Bruce Wayne would be like when he's old, just by himself, lonely, and probably just not a shred of happiness to him because everything that he's been through in his life, you know?
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, he really doesn't have a life, you know.
It's Batman.
He's suicide, you know. That's, I mean, he has no life. His life is fighting crime. So, cool. All right, I'm going to go over to Wonder Woman number 19, story by Liam Sharp, art by Liam Sharp, story by Greg Rucka. So, Ferdinand and Diana are reunited once again, and it's a weepy, happy moment for everyone.
Tatanka.
Yep.
Tatanka.
He is a, not a Minotaur, but a Kilotar, I believe.
Yes.
Kithotar, yes. But this sappy sob story is totally overshadowed by the fact that Barbara Ann Minerva has been turned back into Cheetah. Someone put out a saucer of milk. It's a cat fight. Rawr. Rawr. Yeah, all right. Veronica Cale is trying to use Cheetah to get into the Mascara. Diana, Steve, Ferdinand, and Etta are also trying to get to the Mascara. Meanwhile, at the Mascara, Diana's family is just chilling out and eating cheeseburgers when suddenly they notice that Wonder Woman is on the move and trying to get back home. They aren't eating cheeseburgers. I'm sure they're eating, like, Kithotar or something. Diana and her friends head over to Cale's hideout, only to realize they're too late to save Cheetah, who is currently on her way to the Black Sea with Veronica Cale. I guess this is
Cats don't like water.
Yeah, I guess not. Yeah, I guess this is their way of getting into the Mascara, rather. I'm sorry. Wonder Woman has Ferdinand kill Dr. Cyber, and the gang walks outside. Then Wonder Woman is shot by some crazy sniper on the roof across the street. And it's a cliffhanger ending as Steve Trevor holds her in his arms, you know, and so that I guess Wonder Woman isn't bulletproof. We found the answer to that. She is not bulletproof. This bullet went straight through her stomach. So, yikes.
Noah told us that, didn't he? Because I asked him one time, so is she bulletproof? And he's like, she's not.
No,
she's
yeah,
use her bracers or whatever.
Yeah, she is susceptible to projectiles.
Projectiles.
Yep. So
sweet irony.
Bullets,
my only weakness.
I got to pull up Ben there, but there's a mama joke.
I was trying so hard not to say it, but yeah. I was on the same page as you for that one. I love this issue, though. I love the storytelling that Rucker has been using with this part of the Wonder Woman story. Not really much negative feedback. The book's super epic, lots of fun. If you haven't been following it, it is confusing, I think, but it is.
Thank you for justifying.
It is definitely a good read if you sit down and read it. Even if you aren't a Wonder Woman fan, it's just a good story. Yeah. Greg Rucka, I read some of his Image books too, and I'm thinking of a different writer. I have read other books by Greg Rucka, and he's the signature Wonder Woman writer as well. So, art just beautiful. I mean, Liam Sharp's a freaking genius. Yeah. I love that guy's artwork. I'll never even be a tenth of as good as he is, but he's just fantastic. So overall,
not with that attitude.
Yeah, not with any attitude, man. That guy's insane. Overall, it gets a strong holy from me. So yeah, did anyone else read this one?
I kind of flipped through it. I've been so out of the loop on the Wonder Woman. I tried, but then I kind of flipped through it.
Yeah,
yes.
You gotta read the back issues, otherwise you're just gonna be lost because it is very much like it's a story that builds off of each issue, and it's not no jumping on points.
Wonder Woman, it's hard to not love if you know Noah. I mean, I never really cared much about Wonder Woman. I mean, I liked her. I mean, she's part of the Trinity, but never really cared about backstory. But ever since meeting Noah, I got to read all the books now, all the Wonder Woman books.
Yeah, and that new Wonder Woman trailer looks sick too. So
is the Justice League.
Yep. I was gonna try and make time for that at the end if we have time. So let's move things on here to I don't know, Josh. What do you got next?
All right, I got Teen Titans number 6.
Yes, I love this one.
Rise of Aquaman Part 1.
The Rise of
I love the enthusiasm,
Aqualad.
Ben. Or Aqualad, excuse me. What did I say? Aquaman?
Man.
Yeah, Aqualad.
He's not a man yet. There's already a man.
Excuse me.
Gotta wait for Arthur to die, and then he'll be Aquaman.
All right. So this is by Benjamin Percy, Koi Fan. Wade Von Grabadger and Jim Charalampidis. Lampitis.
Charalampidis.
You guys got some challenging names on this team.
It's a horrible disease to have.
Yeah. So,
I got a wicked case of
Probably a little bit more than an ointment or a cream to fix that.
It's
oh my goodness.
It's a disease where you compulsively color comics.
All right. So this one will probably be a little bit quicker, but over 50 prisoners escaped from a prison north of San Francisco. Teen Titans are hanging out at their tower in San Francisco, and Beast Boy is telling them how that eating meat is like they are all eating him. Typical vegans. The argument is broke up when Damian's perimeter alarms go off, but sadly it's only a reporter that Beast Boy forgot to tell the gang about. Beast Boy gives her a tour where she mysteriously vanishes mid-tour, and the team begins a search. Meanwhile, we meet Aqualad, who lives in the desert but knows he can control water with his crazy tattoos. He's a misunderstood young lad, and his mother won't tell him anything about his father. Daddy issues, they're the worst.
Yep.
So he learns of the Teen Titans on the news, and he runs away to join them. The Teen Titans are on a boat trying to find whatever took the reporter.
Man.
Yeah.
It's going fast.
I just pictured like Damien like secretly singing that in his head.
Yeah.
Like the whole time,
Travis,
but just
give me a look.
not saying anything out loud.
Have you never heard that song?
No,
by,
I haven't either.
By Lonely Island on Saturday
you
Night
guys
Live.
have not heard on a boat?
Nope.
All right.
Well, after the show.
That's your homework assignment. You better listen to that.
All
Okay.
right, so they're on a boat.
So they're on a boat trying to find whatever took the reporter. Damien located the area that it should have happened, and Beast Boy goes all seal form and begins to search, only to be frightened out of the water. He warns the team that we're going to need a bigger boat. But before they could react, King Shark comes crashing through the boat.
You
Next
hear my
issue,
Jaws music?
King Shark Attack. Yeah, it was good. It was good
Sorry.
background.
I'm going to stop interrupting you.
Yeah, it's like trying not to break the wall there. I was trying to, power through it with the background.
Yeah.
It was
good
it was
work.
good.
I
It was
feel
good.
like we should do this professionally.
yeah, we should. So, rating wise, I gave it a blessing. There's a lot of good character development. Some of the stuff with Aqualad I think is kind of cheesy and kind of cliche-ish. Like I liked his backstory better in like Young Justice.
Yeah.
It's like they're using the Young Justice Aqualad, but they're just taking a totally different approach with it.
I don't mind. I gotta say, I don't mind him being gay, but like that's totally. If you want to take a character like that, I don't think he has a very big history in the comics. He does have a history in the animated stuff, and make him gay. That's fine. But yeah, like the whole like living out in the country, having a boyfriend that's father is like a really right wing like. Good old boy. That's just kind of a cliche, like way to go storytelling wise. I think,
and not living in the country, like living in the desert
or desert,
where
rather.
he's like Aqualad.
But they're out in the middle. Yeah, I guess out in the sticks is what I should say.
Sure. But yeah, all that I thought was kind of lame. Like I said, I like the idea of him. Going to the temple in Atlantis and like learning about like his powers and stuff. Like, I just think that's just a way cooler like backstory.
Give him a boyfriend in Atlantis. Why not?
I think we are gonna get that because his mom talked about like, what was it?
I'm sure it's gonna be like he's gonna meet Aquaman probably through the Teen Titans, and then he might get his chance to go to Atlantis later, is what I'm guessing. But I don't know.
No, his mom says, I made a promise to keep you safe. And he's like, what are you talking about? A promise to who? And she's like, looks down and she's like, to myself. Like she made a promise to his father. He's going to find out about that and eventually go to Atlantis. But that, so I think we will get that eventually.
Cool.
Yeah. So, I don't know. But like so far it's just me. But it wasn't a bad story. It was a fun little read. The banter between the Teen Titans is always fun. Like
Sweet.
Damien's attitude versus Beast Boy's attitude. Like, I don't know. Starfire is just kind of out there because she's an alien, and Raven's just this closed up, emo kid. Like, I don't know. It's just like interesting, like development between them all. So again, nothing too epic in this run, but it's a fun little read, and it's I'm sure it's going to be it was a nice setup for what's going to be hopefully a good King Shark fight.
Sweet. All right, cool. Brad, what you want to talk Hal Jordan?
Oh, I gave it a blessing. I don't know. If I said
sorry
that.
about that. Sorry.
Yeah, I'd love to talk Hal Jordan. Hal Jordan and the Green Lanterns, written by Vendetti, art by Van Sciver and Wright. Guy decides that he wants to partner up with Acrylo. Am I saying that
Aquila.
wrong? Yeah, Aquila.
Yep.
Okay. Kyle and Hal argue about who the greatest Lantern is. Travis, you're the greatest Lantern.
I am the greatest Lantern.
You're supposed to say Brad. No, Brad. You're,
Brad, you're the greatest.
and then I
Lantern.
was gonna say no. You're right. I am the great. But anyway,
Okay.
so
Yeah.
that's fine.
I think we can all agree that I'm the greatest Lantern.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Okay.
Awesome.
Sorry.
Kyle ends up doing the Vulcan mind link on Saint Walker to find more hope in the galaxy, and in doing so, lets go of the power of the white light to make more rings. But something is in the way, and Syed and Ganthet claim that no power should have been able to thwart the resurrection. That's all they give us. Mr. Oz is looking at Kyle at that moment in like this weird, kind of middle special with flashes in there, and then Mr. Oz, and he sees Kyle, and the white light separates, and then into all new rings, and all the different rings start scanning for the people.
What do you mean by all new rings?
So there's in one of the pages, there are all the different colors of the
Okay.
emotional spectrum.
Okay.
So red, yellow,
Yeah.
harvest, yeah. So
Roy G. Biv.
yep. What?
Roy G. Biv.
Yep.
Red, orange,
Oh.
yellow, green.
Gotcha. I'm like, huh? Who's that? But that's awesome. Cool. So the green ring doesn't have to go far, as it goes right back to Kyle Rayner. And that was awesome.
Yep. I agree.
So I love this issue. See the Flash in there for just a split second.
Okay, I gotta ask you. So we get Kyle Reiner back as a Green Lantern, and he's in his classic white and black with the crab shell mask on.
I like his gauntlets.
Those are pretty awesome on that. I kind of prefer his the biker look, the all green and black one that he wore. But Kyle always changes his Green Lantern outfit, so
He's an artist.
He's a stylish lantern.
yeah, it's true.
Well, I mean, he's an artist, so he likes to create things and visually, things
cool.
that
Yeah.
look visually different. That's why he's such a. That's why I
He'd
like
go back to an old costume. I think as an artist, you'd be constantly updating, never going backwards.
Yeah. I don't
So
know.
literally
Yeah.
all fan service on that then.
Yeah, I think so.
Well, that,
yeah.
and I mean, he
Yeah.
had a moment of nostalgia too when he had just the green ring. It felt like, he was just like, well,
Let's
he's
get to
like,
work.
I don't
Yeah.
care. Let's get to work.
Yeah.
Right,
I'm still a Green Lantern. I was the only Green Lantern before.
Yeah.
I got this.
I mean, I kind of wish that they didn't put it on the cover, because I would have liked that to be a surprise, because like Kyle Rayner is a guy who got me into Green Lanterns, so I thought it was awesome.
Yeah.
And so it kind of hit me in the feelers. It's going to be cool to see what's going on, and I think Kyle actually has a bigger part to play with Mr. Oz.
You think so?
Well, I mean,
I only saw that
I think
one
that he
panel
was-
with Oz.
I do. I think that he's gonna have a bigger part to play. I
That's like
agree.
the only
He's
place
such
I've
a
seen
powerful and significant character that it would be a shame not to use him. He's up there in the big leagues, just like Superman is. I think.
right? Well,
I mean,
and why else would Mr. Oz be watching him?
yeah.
I mean, and is Mr. Oz the one that's blocking whatever the Guardians are talking about?
Yeah, that's
And
Yes,
what are the
I
Guardians
think
talking
he
about?
is.
yeah. What are why
But
why
see-
did they when he says they're trying to resurrect hope, and I don't think they actually say they're resurrecting hope. They just
Right,
said
it's
time.
implied.
What are they trying to do? I thought are they trying
I
to
thought
bring
they were
back the
bringing
planet
the
of
Guardians. The
Is that what it
Guardians
was?
are dead, right? I thought
No,
they were
not
trying
all.
to bring-
No,
But I thought they were trying to resurrect Guardians. That's what I haven't been keeping up with this story, so I could be wrong.
I
don't
thought they were
think so.
trying to start some more. I thought they were trying to make more Blue Lanterns.
that's what I thought too.
Oh, that
I
might
thought
be
they
it.
were going
So-
to bring back the planet Odin, where that's where the Blue Lanterns were kind of
Right.
home based, but I think it was exploded.
So are
Because
they-
I kind of get the feeling that the Lantern Corps is going to just be a Lantern Corps, and it's going to be all the color spectrums in one core. It is kind of what I was thinking, because they already brought yellow in there, now they brought blue. So I mean, and you did see what's his name?
Barry Allen.
No, right next to Barry, the Red Lantern.
Atrocitus.
Atrocitus, thank you.
you.
You saw him in there too. So I
We still haven't heard
they gonna-
from what happened with, like, you remember back in Sam Humphrey's Green Lantern story when
I didn't do it, Ben.
when Atrocitus.
It was all Josh.
When
Brett just thumbs up knuckle butter.
Atrocitus's blue cat went and planted the rage seed to start the Red
Dexter.
Dawn. Dexter, and
Yeah.
to start the Red Dawn. But then they went away. They planted that seed, so eventually the Red Lanterns are going to come back, and the Red Dawn is going to happen. I'm not sure how that's going.
That's cool.
But I don't think that Mr. Oz has the ability to stop that from happening. So he has to be working with some.
I think he
huge,
was just
powerful.
I think he was just observing.
That's what I always
Dr.
take
Oz,
Oz
like,
as.
I mean, he was just like
observes
observing
everything.
it. I didn't see him play a part.
Well,
Crisis on Infinite Earths. Who was the character that caused that? He farted out a galaxy, and that was how it ended. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know. Like, that was.
There's a mom joke there too.
Whoa.
No,
I don't
you know. Oh man, you don't know who I'm talking. He's this all-powerful being that, like in Crisis on Infinite Earths, he slapped all the realities together, and at the end of it, like it just came out as one. Man, you guys keep talking.
Okay.
I'll look it up.
So Josh, like this is what I was thinking. 'Cause I read this before I read Action Comics. So I was thinking that when they're talking about the Mars, I thought that they were talking about past Mars and the Lanterns is what I was kind of thinking. But
I don't know.
what you were saying makes more sense.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
I don't know how they're going to tie in like what's going on with Barry Allen as the Blue Lantern.
Yeah, I was going to say, they're
but-
going to make him a Blue Lantern then? Is that what that's implying?
Well, in Darkest Night, he
Blackest
was
Night,
or Blackest
yeah.
Night. Sorry, he was a Blue Lantern. He was
Yeah.
kind of deputized as
And
Earth
Scarecrow, which
was yellow.
which he was doing the fear in regular Green
yeah.
Lanterns too. So that
point.
that's kind of interesting.
The Anti-Monitor.
Oh right.
I was wondering if maybe Mr. Oz was working with like the Anti-Monitor, but I don't know.
Okay.
All right, we got to move things on though. So, what did you rate this?
I rated this high, holy, just about a salvation. I couldn't give it salvation, but
Yeah, I give it a holy too.
Yeah.
So cool. All right, Travis, you want to recap your favorite book of this week for us?
Blue Beetle.
Yeah.
Okay, this is gonna be fast because I'll be honest. I haven't been keeping up with Blue Beetle. Like I
Yeah.
read a few and then I dropped off the last
It's a
two.
terrible.
I
book.
read this, and it's
Really?
like
You
you
don't
had
like?
to...
I didn't like it either.
You had to read the last issue.
I really
it seems
don't.
like.
Okay.
I just think like it's been really confusing for
Okay.
me. But
Okay.
I'm sorry, I shouldn't say that.
No, Blue Beetle. Ben Dupay's hated book of the week. Fate battles the Scarab deep beneath the streets of El Paso, Texas. Arion of Atlantis shows up trying to claim the Scarab. He usually looks like some cracked out weirdo guy with magic powers. I have no idea who he is.
Yep.
Fate separates the Scarab from Jaime's, what I assume is his soul, because Jaime's corporeal body is laying on the ground and there's like this bluish looking figure floating there that looks like Jaime. But he is overpowered by the Scarab itself. So Scarab's not on Jaime anymore. It's just its own thing, like a warrior beetle. Ted Cord searches for Jaime's trail, which leads him underground. The Scarab crushes Fate's helmet, but you can't stop Fate because, well, Fate doesn't die because he's never really alive. He's just a magical being, which honestly, that I thought that was awesome. That little page where the Scarab reaches out, grabs the helmet of Naboo and just crushes it.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, no way, you can't do that.
And then you see the dude like waking up.
Yeah,
that was pretty
inside
cool.
Fate
Temporarily
Tower.
freeze him.
Yeah. Cord finds Jaime and frees him from his captors. Fate intervenes and sends Cord and Jaime away, but the Scarab bonds with this Aryan character, and next issue is the Beetle No More. So the Beetle the Scarab has this like all powerful like sorcerer type guy,
Right.
and now I don't know enough about any of the characters other than I know a little bit about Fate. I know it's
Right.
kind of weird. I know a little bit about my Fate, but no, and I know a little bit about Beetle, and I know a little bit about Ted Cord.
Yeah.
But I honestly say I kind of like it, but I am confused. I need to go back and read like the last 4.
I
issues.
wanted, believe this or not, I wanted a cameo from Aquaman in this.
Yeah, because you
they're
saw the
talking about
Atlantean
Atlantean.
show.
True.
And
Yeah.
I had no idea who he is. And so
Right.
I was like, okay, Aquaman, show up and educate us,
Sure.
or something.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
Or with as much as Fate talks, I would have assumed he would have given us
was
a little
really
bit more.
wordy.
It's like, dude, Fate,
Yeah.
I get it. Just tell me exactly what I need to know,
Right.
rather than this whole.
Yeah, I just got really confused, man. I did really enjoy the artwork, though. It reminded me a lot of Seven to Eternity artwork,
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah.
Just that Rick Remender's, like, that's not the artist, but all the weird plasma beams and stuff like that,
Yeah.
just, it has that feeling.
Yeah.
So.
What would you call that art? Because at first, the first look at it, I was like, I don't like it. But then again, I've looked at it more and more, and I'm like, I kind of do. It's kind of like somebody sat there with just colored pencils and drew the whole thing.
yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, it's just detailed.
I'm not an artist.
I mean, it's just
I'm not either.
detailed artwork. I don't know.
I liked how it took Ted Kord some time to get in there to rescue Jaime, and just like that, Fate just like be
They're
gone.
done. Yep.
Yeah, keep him safe.
I like to I hope I didn't forget anything. He's like, nope, still got it.
Yeah, like it was kind of funny seeing Ted Kord get in there.
I do like this Atlantean. I don't know. I'm interested.
Yeah, there needs to be something to pull them together. And granted, maybe there is, because I obviously don't read Aquaman.
Yeah.
But
You don't like Aquaman?
No.
No.
I liked him in the Justice League trailer.
Yeah, and we'll.
My rating, I'm gonna say, is Purgatory, just because Ben just summed it up when he went.
Yeah.
That's my feeling about this whole
I agree.
Yeah,
issues.
I can't go so far as to say it's a bad book. It's just
No.
not one that has my interest peaked.
Exactly.
Does anyone else want to rate this before we move on really quick?
I agree.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I gave the same.
So, Justice League trailer. We saw it today. Shut up and take my money already.
I know.
I
Holy
do want to say that it seems like they're maybe following the Justice League War story that kicked off the New 52 when Apocalypse attacked,
Yep.
downtown or whatever.
Cool.
With the parademons and them being in a
That's
city
cool.
atmosphere. Josh, did you see the trailer yet?
I
I
tagged
forgot
you.
it was dropping. It dropped today, right?
I tagged you in
Stop.
Facebook.
Yeah, I forgot to watch it.
Watch it.
So, okay, I saw Mara.
yeah,
I saw Lois
which was
Lane,
awesome.
And there was another person that I couldn't make out that I'm like, okay, I thought right at the end.
Right at the end.
Yeah.
I don't understand the beginning why Bruce Wayne had to ride a horse to the town where Arthur Curry was.
Well, he's in the snowy atmosphere, so I don't know if he visited Planet Hoth or what.
Yeah.
I don't know what's
he might have to cut that
couldn't take
tauntaun
the
open.
Batwing?
Yeah, exactly.
I did like my favorite part of the trailer was when he's like, "Do you have superpower?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm rich."
Yeah,
It's like, yeah, that is Bruce Wayne's
I liked
superpower.
the music.
I know.
I thought
I
it
want
might
that
be a
trailer.
little too much like what is it
together.
called?
Wonder Woman,
Suicide Squad.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, where it's going to be a little too jokey, but I actually liked it. I was like, that's
Yeah.
nice. Come together. It makes sense. It's Justice League. I liked, is it Jason Momoa?
Yeah.
Is that how you say his last name? As Aquaman. I thought that was good. I just really, really hope there is a good script to this, because
Yeah.
otherwise it's just going to be people running
Yeah,
around in costumes.
man, and like I asked my brother about it because he has not been a fan of the DC movies, which granted,
haters gonna hate.
Suicide Squad was not a good movie in my opinion, but I still like the fan service. Batman v Superman was not a good movie in my opinion, but I still like it.
Yeah.
Man of Steel was okay. It wasn't great. It was visually cool. But like he saw this trailer and he's like, yeah, it just reminds me of all the other crappy movies that DC has come out with.
So I do like how they kept on throwing in the Unite, because it was got to be like 2 years ago where they had that poster, Unite the Seven.
yeah.
But you only see 5. So I mean, obviously Superman is the one of them, and then is the other one Green Lantern.
Yep.
And
We
they're doing a
are
good
going to
job
get
of-
a Green Lantern in this movie, even if it's just a glimmering
At the end,
cameo
I'm
at
thinking.
the end. But we
Think?
are.
I
Oh
think
yeah,
he's gonna
yeah,
save the
we
day.
are. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if he'll save the day. I think that he'll just show up in a post-credit scene or something like that. All right, we got to stop talking about this. But if you want to find us anywhere, you can do so at Nerd Church Radio on the internet. If you want to find us on Patreon and donate to our humble cause. We are on patreon.com/nerdchurchradio, where you donate to us and we give you rewards in return. If you want to find me, I am on Twitter at IndieComicBen. Brad, where can we find you?
I'm on the Twitter as well at Bradley, Bradley _ Butin, Butin.
Joshua.
You can find me on Twitter
Aldini.
at Facefur. That's FACEFURRR.
Travis.
Find me at Twitter at TritonTR. That's TRITONTR.
And with that, I will say peace be with you.
And also with you.
Peace out, Planet Earth.
Next week we'll be back to spoil all your comics.
2 weeks.
2 weeks, yes. Oh, hiatus.